The night was quiet. Below, the lights of Earth slowly faded, and in the distance, a single tiny sparkle of light shone. It was just one star among billions, but it held a secret, waiting to be discovered. Space was calm, yet filled with wonders. Its profound silence could bring peace and ignite curiosity all at once. Astronaut Ilara looked out of the window of the International Space Observatory. She felt incredibly small. Far away, galaxies collided. Stars were born and died, and no one seemed to notice. In this endless universe, every star shone in its own rhythm, bending space and time. Her mission was to study strange energy waves coming from one of these distant stars. After years of observation, she had discovered that these waves were unlike any normal cosmic rhythm. Energy patterns are unusual. We cannot find the exact source yet, but measurements continue, came the voice of Mission Control. Ilara, these signals may be something the universe has never shown us before. Keep collecting all the data, the voice added firmly. Time moved differently in space. Ilara couldn't distinguish days from nights. She simply looked out the window, watching galaxies dance in silent ballet. The birth of one star merged with the death of another, like a quiet symphony. The silence was peaceful, but it also sent a little shiver down her spine. For a full week, Ilara tracked the signal. With every measurement, the energy waves became clearer, appearing to form a kind of language. Maybe space wasn't silent after all. Perhaps it was speaking in a way humans couldn't yet understand. The observatory's robots turned towards the direction of the signals. Giant telescopes scanned the empty space between galaxies, recording every tiny shift in light. Ilara stared at her computer screen. Red and blue tones mixed, revealing a complex pattern that looked as if it had been sent by a conscious being. At that moment, Ilara felt she wasn't alone. Maybe the universe didn't communicate at our speed, but it always answered in ways we could eventually see. The signals came from the far edges of the Milky Way, billions of light years away. The light had traveled for thousands of generations. While it journeyed, entire planets had been born and had died. Ilara felt both amazed and humbled. The signals grew more complicated each day, requiring deeper analysis from Ilara and her team. The silence of space now felt like a message. Each energy wave carried a rhythm, a meaning that seemed to exist beyond time and space. Ilara let her imagination wander. Perhaps the signal was a living being trying to show it existed. Or maybe the universe, silent for billions of years, had finally started to speak. As days turned into weeks, the patterns became clearer. Ilara returned to her computer and started decoding every wave. She found mathematics, symbols, and repeating rhythms. This couldn't be random. Maybe humanity wasn't alone. Maybe space was full of life, hidden in its silence all this time. Growing braver, Ilara suggested sending a small probe toward the star emitting the signals. The probe would travel faster than light, collecting more data. Mission Control agreed. The probe left the station, and Ilara watched its small light move slowly into the deep dark. She imagined what it would see. Planets, moons, bright nebulae, and maybe, just maybe, something alive. Weeks passed, and the probe sent back astonishing pictures. She saw frozen planets with glowing ice, giant gas giants swirling with storms, and brilliant stars being born. Sometimes, the patterns in space seemed to be watching her. The universe felt alive, and she felt a connection she had never experienced before. Ilara began to dream while she was awake. She imagined floating through space, passing galaxies, seeing black holes bend starlight and nebulas painted with colors she couldn't name. Each dream was more beautiful than the last. She felt that every star, every planet, was part of a huge cosmic story, and she was slowly learning to read it. Then one day, the probe detected something unusual. A small planet, bathed in a soft green glow, orbiting a young star. The energy waves were stronger there. Elara realized this planet might be the source. A smile touched her lips. Maybe life was waiting there, ready to be seen for the first time. The weeks turned into months, and the signals became easier to read, forming patterns that almost resembled music. She imagined the universe singing a quiet song, a melody billions of years long, for anyone who would listen. Elara felt a deep sense of calm. She had never felt this close to the universe. She looked out the window again. Stars moved slowly, galaxies spun, and the universe remained quiet but vibrantly alive. She understood now that space was not empty. It was full of life, energy, and stories. And she was part of it, a small traveler in the silent universe. Sometimes she closed her eyes and imagined the probe landing on the green glowing planet. Maybe there were tiny creatures, or trees that shone in the dark, or oceans reflecting the stars. She didn't know, and that was perfect. The unknown made the journey all the more beautiful. Elara watched the green glowing planet through the telescope, feeling a mix of excitement and nervousness. She might be on the verge of discovering something completely new, something alive. She decided to study it carefully before sending the probe any closer. The planet's surface was covered with soft green lights that moved slowly, almost as if they were breathing. She couldn't tell if it was plants, creatures, or something else entirely. She watched the patterns for hours, observing the lights pulse and shift rhythmically. It felt like the planet itself was alive and watching her. Mission Control requested updates every few hours. "Elara, do you see any changes?" "Yes," she replied softly. "The lights are moving. They seem to respond to the probe's signals. It's almost like the planet is communicating." Elara could hardly sleep. She felt perpetually awake, her mind filled with images of glowing green forests and oceans. Every night, the planet seemed different, showing new patterns and shapes. Finally, the probe landed on the surface. Images started to appear on her screen. She saw soft hills shimmering in green, lakes reflecting bright stars, and clouds that glowed faintly in the night. It was quiet, peaceful, and stunningly beautiful. Suddenly, one of the probes detected a strange energy pulse, a short, strong wave, different from the usual patterns. Elara leaned closer. "It's like a heartbeat," she whispered. The team on Earth was stunned. Could this planet harbor a life form entirely different from anything humans knew? Elara sent a small rover to explore. It rolled gently across the glowing hills, sending back images of small, glowing shapes moving quickly, hiding behind hills or blending with the lights. Their forms changed constantly, and they seemed to follow the rover with a quiet curiosity. Elara felt a strange connection. The planet and its creatures seemed aware of her presence, even from millions of kilometers away. She realized life in the universe might not always look like we imagine. Life could be energy, light, patterns, or something beyond our comprehension. As days passed, the green lights began forming shapes that reminded her of symbols or letters in a slow, delicate rhythm. Elara felt she was witnessing the first conversation between humanity and an alien world. The universe was speaking, and she was listening intently. One night, She closed her eyes and imagined herself walking on the glowing hills. The air felt soft and warm. Tiny glowing shapes danced around her feet, and the lakes reflected the stars above. Everything moved gently, slowly, like a peaceful dream. She felt safe and connected to the universe in a way she had never felt before. Then, she noticed something remarkable. Every pulse of light on the planet matched the patterns from the distant star she had first tracked. It was as if the planet and the star were communicating across space. Energy traveled billions of light years to connect them, and now she was a part of it. The green planet, the distant star, the signals, they were all part of a vast, interconnected universe, full of rhythm and hidden stories. One evening, the green planet glowed brighter than ever. The energy pulses formed a spiral pattern, slowly moving and changing. "It's beautiful," Ilara whispered. The planet and the star were dancing in harmony. The universe was alive, not just in matter or light, but in connection. Ilara smiled. This journey was just the beginning. The universe had infinite secrets, waiting for those who dared to look and listen. So, Ilara continued her quiet watch, floating in the observatory, her eyes on the glowing planet, her heart full of wonder. Every pulse, every flash of green light was a story of life, connection, and the endless beauty of the universe. In the silence of space, Ilara found peace. The universe spoke gently, slowly, and beautifully. She was a small traveler in a vast cosmos, listening, learning, and dreaming. And she knew that no matter how far she went, the silent song of the universe would always guide her.